Are you thinking about moving to Canada and specifically Toronto, Ontario, or maybe you already live in Canada and you're thinking about relocating to Toronto? Well, in this video, I'm talking about the 5 things that I love and hate about living in Toronto, which should help you decide if it's the right place for you. I've lived here for pretty much my entire life, from elementary school to graduating university to getting married to having my daughter. And during my time here, I've moved around the city a lot, from being right in the center of the downtown core to further north in the suburbs of the GTA. So I've definitely seen it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, if you've been to this channel before, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Fady Nakhla and I'm a local real estate agent here in Toronto. And for the last 6 years, I've been helping people just like you make that move to Toronto. So if you have any questions about moving to the city or the surrounding areas of the greater Toronto area, then I'd be more than happy to answer them. My contact information will be in the description below. Feel free to reach out and my team and I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Or feel free to leave a comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Now I want to get the bad stuff out of the way first, so let's talk about the cons. Con number 1, sky-high home prices. The prices of homes in the city of Toronto have become very expensive. In fact, the city has just gained a reputation for being one of the most expensive housing markets in Canada, just recently passing Vancouver to take that number 1 spot. It's absolutely crazy. Just to give you a rough idea, a 1-bedroom condo here in the city would run you around $725,000. A 2-bedroom condo about $900,000. A 3-bed semi would likely go around $1.65 million, and then a 4-bed detached, just like this one here, would easily run you a whopping $2.5 million. Not only are the home prices sky high, but the rental costs in Toronto have also been steadily increasing to kind of unrealistic levels. According to the most recent housing data, the average monthly rent for a 1-bedroom condo is $2,600 a month, and for 2 bedrooms, it's $3,500 a month. So it's not cheap to live here, but there are definitely some neighborhoods in the city that are less expensive than others, so it definitely helps to have some guidance when you're trying to navigate through the Toronto real estate market. Now this goes hand in hand with my next con, which is high cost of living. From groceries to transportation, the expenses in the city of Toronto can quickly add up. The first and biggest expense is the average cost of housing. Next on that list is the cost of food. According to recent statistics, groceries in Toronto are approximately 23% higher than the national average. So on average, a basic monthly grocery bill for a single person can range from $200 to $400. Dining out or grabbing takeout also comes with a higher price tag compared to other cities in Canada. For example, a pint of beer at a local bar or restaurant in Toronto would cost you between $10 to $11. Just an average main course at a restaurant would cost you between $20 to $30. A medium takeout pizza would cost you around $15, and a cheeseburger from McDonald's would cost you around $4. Transportation costs in Toronto can also take a toll on your budget. The average monthly expense for public transportation, including buses, streetcars, and the subway, is $150. If you own a car, additional expenses such as insurance, fuel, and parking should also need to be considered. Parking fees alone in downtown Toronto are quite hefty and can range from $150 all the way up to $300 a month depending on your location. Utilities, including electricity, heating, water, and internet, are all essential, and on average, the monthly utility bill for a 750 square foot 1-bedroom condo in Toronto comes out to around $150 to $200. Internet and cell phone services are an additional $100 to $150 a month. So as you can tell here in the city, these monthly costs do all start to add up very quickly. To get by in Toronto, a person needs to be earning an annual salary of about $42,000 before taxes to meet the standard cost of living, and this does not take into account any entertainment or lifestyle expenses such as things you might want to splurge on or vacations. And that takes us to con number 3, which is the bad traffic. Now Toronto's ranked number 3 behind only Chicago and Boston as having the worst traffic in all of North America and ranked number 1 in all of Canada. .com did a study that on average here, a Toronto driver spends 8 days of their life or almost 200 hours sitting in traffic. It is that bad, especially as you get closer to the city core, or if you're driving during peak hours in the morning or after work at 5 o'clock, a 20-minute trip can very easily turn into a 2-hour one. Con number 4, construction. Toronto is a rapidly growing city, and as a result, there is a considerable amount of ongoing construction throughout the year. Construction here honestly seems never ending, with road work and condo projects happening in almost every direction. This usually leads to road closures, detours, which adds to the already awful traffic problem, and increased noise levels, which is really inconvenient for anyone that does live in those areas. Imagine waking up to the sound of jackhammers and beeping machinery every morning. It's just not fun. And that takes us to con number 5, the weather. Now, I'm not just talking about the cold. I mean, Toronto is a Canadian city. It's cold, it snows, that's all expected. It's actually not as extreme as other parts of Canada for the most part. But the part that really gets me with the weather is how unpredictable it is. Now, the winters here go from about the beginning of December to the end of March. Then you have a short spring season from April to May, and then summer kicks in full force mid-June until around September. All that being said, you may have a day midwinter in January where it's -15, followed by a day where it's +7 and all the snow's melting, and then the very next day it's -20 and there's a huge snowstorm. And the same thing happens in the spring. My wife's birthday is early May, and some years we're snowed in the house, we're out skiing, and others we're out by the lake or hiking in 25-degree weather. This doesn't apply to even just the different seasons. Within the span of 24 hours here in Toronto, you may have a beautiful, warm day followed by -degree weather in the latter part of the day. My advice to you when you go out is pack everything: shorts, pants, jackets, because it's definitely unpredictable. Now, how am I doing so far, guys? Do you agree or disagree with these cons? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're into this kind of content, make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you get notified when new content like this is uploaded. Now let's talk about the good and what I love about living in Toronto. Why, despite all these cons I just mentioned, are people choosing to move here and call this city home? Well, let's start off with pro number one, which is the multiculturalism. Toronto is a world leader for diversity and multiculturalism. People from all corners of the world have made this city their home, creating a melting pot of traditions, languages, and different perspectives. Multiculturalism is an integral part of life in Toronto, and you'd actually see it in the neighborhoods. From areas like Chinatown to Little Italy and Greektown, Toronto's diverse neighborhoods add character to the city. Each area has its own unique atmosphere, offering a glimpse into the different cultures. Exploring these neighborhoods is like taking a journey around the world without actually leaving Toronto. When it comes to experiencing Toronto's multiculturalism, my favorite part is definitely the food. Toronto is known for having an epic food scene. Literally some of the best cuisines in Canada you can find right outside your doorstep. Everything from authentic Italian pasta to Japanese sushi to Indian butter chicken. There are so many amazing local shops and restaurants to choose from. So no, it's not all just bacon, poutine, and maple syrup, as you may have heard. Pro number two, the entertainment. Outside of dining, there are plenty of entertainment options. If you're a sports fan, Toronto is the place to be. The city has some big teams in the major leagues, like the Toronto Raptors, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Blue Jays, so you can really catch a game and experience the exciting, electric atmosphere of those arenas, so it's definitely an experience you don't want to miss. Toronto is also known for its music scene, with countless venues and concert halls where you can catch live performances by musicians or bands from various genres. A few of the big ones are Budweiser Stage, which is a concert hall right on HARBOURFRONT, or the Rogers Centre is a massive arena that musicians like Drake, Thomas Rhett, Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, they've all performed in Toronto, and it's a stop on many artists' world tours, so that's always a lot of fun. Toronto also hosts an incredible lineup of festivals throughout the year. If you're a film buff, then Toronto is home to TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival. Other big festivals include Carabana, that celebrates Caribbean culture, and another big one that I personally love is Taste of Danforth, that's hosted annually in Greektown. Toronto has an amazing nightlife as well. There is bar after bar that line Queen Street West, whether you prefer a cozy pub or a trendy cocktail house. And if you're ready to hit the dance floor and party the night away, head over to one of the many nightclubs on King Street West. Now, if you're looking for some more family-friendly activities in Toronto, don't worry, there's many options for that as well. There's the iconic CN Tower, Ripley's Aquarium, the Royal Ontario Museum, or even just walking along the Toronto HARBOURFRONT, which has many parks and playgrounds along the way. Another big recommendation for families, or really anyone who's looking for a nice day trip, is Centre Island. You can take a short ferry ride from HARBOURFRONT and you end up on this island of 600 acres of manicured parkland. There's water, beaches, picnics, there's an amusement park there, bike paths, and you'll also get the most amazing views of the Toronto skyline. So definitely something you need to check out while you're here. Pro number three, healthcare. Toronto's healthcare system is truly remarkable, especially considering that access to healthcare in Canada is free. That's right, it's free. And that is why I've listed it as pro number three. And I did not mean for that to rhyme. There are countless medical centers and walk-in clinics located conveniently all around the city. The ability to receive services like regular family doctor checkups or routine visits, or more costly ones like MRI scans or x-rays at no charge, gives you that peace of mind knowing that your health will never be compromised because of a price tag. It's not even just the medical services, but the province also does cover prescription drugs for both seniors over the age of 65 as well as younger people below the age of 24. To take it even one step further, what really sets Toronto apart is the presence of world-class doctors and surgeons. People come from far and wide to seek treatment from specialists here in Toronto, as the city is home to some of the most brilliant and skilled medical professionals who have chosen to practice here. In fact, some of the best hospitals in the whole world are in Toronto, including Sick Kids Hospital, the best children's cancer hospital on the planet, and Toronto General, which was actually just ranked as 5th best on the top 100 hospitals in the world for 2023. And that takes us to pro number 4, education. Toronto is definitely one of the leading destinations for education education, offering one of the best education systems globally. When it comes to post-secondary options, the city has a diverse range of institutions catering to various needs and preferences. From prestigious and renowned universities like the University of Toronto, consistently ranked among the best in the world, to more affordable and pragmatic institutions, there is a choice for everyone. For example, Ryerson University offers exceptional programs in journalism and media studies, while Humber College provides more hands-on training in practical fields like graphic design. So if you're looking for post-secondary education in Toronto, then you've definitely got options. Actually, there are a lot of international students who will come from overseas and pay upwards of $50,000 to $60,000 a year just to be at some of the top-ranked universities here in Toronto. Pro number 5, the job opportunities. Now let's talk about one of the greatest advantages of living in Toronto: the abundance of economic opportunities. This city is a hub of job prospects and possibilities that make it possible to achieve your career goals. Toronto is the center of business and really the economic heart of Canada. Toronto offers a wide range of industries and sectors, from finance and technology to entertainment and healthcare. Big brands such as Apple, Ubisoft, Google, Intel, Coca-Cola, just to name a few, have chosen to establish their headquarters here in Toronto, and many large businesses and organizations are in the downtown core, providing a vast array of job openings. Whether you're a recent graduate or an experienced professional, there's a ton of opportunities. In addition to the sheer number of opportunities, Toronto also offers competitive salaries and benefits, giving the city's high living standards and strong economy. Because Toronto is home to a thriving business scene, you're also going to have a ton of that entrepreneurial mindset as well. So the city is known for having a huge startup scene, particularly in the tech space. A more recent study found that Toronto's startup ecosystem is already worth a whopping $46 billion, and that number is quickly rising. And so to nurture the future success of these young companies and to promote the opening of more startup companies, the city offers a very supportive environment with startup grants, resources, mentorship programs, and networking events to help you succeed. And there you have it. Those are the top 5 pros and cons of living in Toronto, Ontario. If you're thinking about move to Toronto yourself, whether it's today, next week, or next month, then I'd love to help you out. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. My contact information all in the description below. And like I said, I'd be more than happy to help you make that move to Toronto. Until then, feel free to check out one of the other videos that I posted on Toronto. It's how to buy a house here in the city. Especially if you're a first-time home buyer and need help navigating the system, then I've got you covered. You can check it out right here. Until then, bye for now.